What's up? Pokepasoda here. It's like some cards and cars type deal because I got a ton of things just going through my damn head right now with Pokemon. So let's kind of hit on a few of these. Now, the first one, PokeDean. The dude got robbed over in London. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It seems like it's definitely an inside job. Seems like it's someone he probably knows, but I'd like to know more about it because, like, everybody's freaking out right now. PokeDean, he's took all of his stuff to an undisclosed location, which I get it. He ran his business out of his house. Gosh, we got PokePlumber. So he took all his stuff. If you watch his videos, the dude has tens of thousands of dollars on the wall next to him. All these top tier booster boxes. We're talking stuff all the way from probably Fossil, Phantom Forces. I mean, good stuff. So he's moving all his stuff too. So I'm trying to think, like, where do we go from here? Okay. You know, earlier this year they had the gunman that, you know, robbed a store in New York and took high-end products and slabs, and people are like, oh, you can trace the slabs. You can't trace the slabs, okay? If it's a card that's like an Illustrator Pikachu, yeah, you can crack it out of the slab. You can have the slab. It doesn't matter. There's so few of them out there. But if it's a Moonbreon, there's so many of those out there in rotation. All they would have to do is crack that slab, and then they have that card right there for raw value. There is no way to trace Pokemon collections. The only thing I could tell you is if you have a booster case, okay, a sealed case, slip an air tag into it, okay? Because you'll never be able to get that air tag out unless you open the case. Which, I mean, it's crazy that we have to think about that, but people so quickly forget. This time last year, right now, this time, 1 year ago, the Pokeball with the 2 Paldean Fates 10s hit Sam's Club. You could order as many as you wanted online. My buddy just showed me his receipt from last year. He ordered 25. No problem. Okay? Seeing Skyboxes. I just looked at a picture. I've been on YouTube now for 1 year. 1 year. Okay? And I remember one of my first videos was seeing Skyboxes. Like, people are sleeping on these. I don't know why they're not buying them. Because a lot of the Sam's Club still had them. And they're $40. And it was 12 or 14 packs of Crown Zenith, a set that people are like, well, they print into the ground, it won't matter. That set is goated. And the thing is that I was buying them for $40 in store, and then if people bought extra they didn't want, I was paying $60 for them because it was a no-brainer. But you didn't hear about these Pokemon places getting robbed, people worried about their collections and shit. Something probably has changed. I don't know what it is. PokeDean, I know that kind of started it. The video is weird to me. Like, the place was ransacked. They went for what they wanted. But the thing I just can't figure out about it is, like, at what point, you know, is he videotaping everything? And, like, at what point did he call the cops? They have an investigation on it, possibly. Because I haven't seen a part 2 of that video yet. And I'm not saying this to say that, like, oh, I think he set it up as an insurance fraud type deal. I'm just wondering, like, where does this go from here? Like, what did he do? Now, let's talk about one other item we got. Insurance. Now, like, I switched the camera angle up. Now, with insurance, you have to make sure if you have your stuff in your house, homeowners is going to cover that stuff. So if homeowners is going to cover things, you have to make sure it's insured at the value it's worth. That's going to be the problem, okay? So, for instance, my wife, she deals with this in the jewelry industry. So they have specific insurance companies that just deal with jewelry, just like they have specific companies that only deal with collectibles. So let's say I have a diamond ring. That diamond ring is worth $10,000. That's what it got appraised at, okay? Well, if you have an insurance company that's a homeowner's insurance company, they may come back and say, like, you know what? I get it. That appraisal says 10,000, but we actually found it here for $6,000, so we're only going to pay $6,000 for that insurance claim on it because that's what the market is on it. So that's where it gets iffy, guys. Let's say I have a base set booster box. Okay, do you think an insurance company, if that thing gets robbed, they're going to be like, you know what? that first edition base set just sold for $500,000 on that Logan Paul auction thing, so we'll just write you a check. Hell no, they're not going to. They're going to find comps on this product if they even do that. Because they still have to verify the box was sealed and the box wasn't tampered with. Do you see where I'm going here? I could have a collection in my house of empty products or pictures of shit that I got online, and I could just be having it everywhere, and I could have my house, let's say my garage burns down, and I could just try to file this huge insurance claim. That's why you have to have collectibles insurance. If you don't have collectible insurance, you're holding yourself at risk. In collectible insurance, they insure that market, and they know how to insure it. Are you going to pay a premium for this insurance? Yes. Would I insure everything? Hell no. If I have a Paradox Rift booster box case that's $1,200, $1,300, I probably won't put that in my insurance premium because I don't want to pay for that year after year. In a few years when it goes up, yeah, pop that baby back on there. But you have to figure out what insurance to have, okay? Now, people always think homeowners, they're going to help me, they're going to cover me. Have you ever dealt with an insurance company? Like, seriously, have you ever dealt with one? They don't want to help you out as much as you want to help them out when they call and answer the phone. These people, insurance companies aren't there to help you. Like, I don't understand. Banks, hospitals, insurance companies, they're not there to help you. They're there to, Johnny Manziel, make money, okay? So you have to think about this in terms of your collection. PokeDean, he's moving all his stuff. I don't blame him. The guy shit on people all the time about don't lease the space, use your space, don't outgrow it and stuff. He came back on that. He said, you know what? I was wrong. I leased a space and I put it in there. I don't blame him. Plumber, I am not sure at all what he's doing with his, whether it's a storage unit or some other space, but you have to make sure you're insured. Even if I have my stuff in a storage unit, which I do have a storage unit with some stuff. If that place gets robbed or if it gets burnt down, I still have to make sure my insurance covers it because the storage unit place. All right, guys, I know I had to stop the video there for a second because someone was calling my phone, but I just wanted to trigger warning type deal. At no point do I think that PokeDean or anybody like that is setting themselves up for insurance fraud. They're hiring someone to steal their stuff and then they can just keep it packed away for years, or they're selling it on the open market right now. I don't believe anybody's doing that. So just kind of a disclaimer in this nice little video. I did this rant, but yeah, by no means do I think PokeDean has done anything wrong. I believe in this situation, he's definitely the victim. So continue on the video now. Where was I? I got a call. The storage unit place is only going to cover up to X amount of dollars. Usually that's why you have something called a deductible. Now, gosh, I feel like this rant's going to go on forever. PokeDean, feel terrible for the guy. And I hope they find the scumbag that did it. It seems like it was definitely an inside job. He was away. The person knew where to go. The thing is, though, is you see all these people with these nice backdrops with all these cards and stuff on there for the display. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, I wouldn't be putting, like, if I had a ton of high-end stuff behind me, but people think, like, the hobby's at this point right now. It's always been at a point where people are going to steal stuff. Like, right now, it's only different because a high-profile person has their place ransacked, and they videotaped it, okay? I mean, the guy lives in an apartment complex is what it looks like. He doesn't have video surveillance, it looks like to me. I know a lot of people, they will do motion sensor on their webcam. So if a motion happens in the room, the webcam turns on, and I don't know if it automatically starts recording. I know that's an option for sure, though. And I just don't get it. If you have all that money, like, get security cameras, get stuff like that. But I can tell you, the number one thing to do is have a extensive list. Pictures, photos, receipts of what you bought. Because when that time happens and you lose part of your collection for one reason or another, maybe it gets stolen, maybe it gets damaged, maybe it gets lost in shipping, maybe you just can't find it because something happened to it. If you don't have those records and the proper insurance, your shit's as good as gone because you can't trace Pokemon cards. Now, if I had a Magic the Gathering Chocobo, like numbered to like 71 or something. Let's say I had one of those Magic the Gathering chocobos, and I pull it, and they're like, oh, I got chocobo number 69. I know, I'm a perv. But if I pull that chocobo, and I have it on film that I did it, and pictures with it, that traces back to me. That's an easy one. Pokemon doesn't have that, okay? Great Felt Pikachu, like 40,000 copies of this thing in a PSA 10. I mean, come on. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, if you're not insuring your investment and you're just flaunting it, imagine walking around the streets anywhere with a wallet sitting there counting $100 bills, okay? And this someone watches you go into the hotel room. Well, they know you have money in your shit. They can go to your hotel room and just ransack the place. The same with streamers, YouTubers, anybody like that. That's why I've always told people, if you're going to list on Facebook Marketplace, here's a key thing to do. Don't post the listed items with your house in it. Post them with a backdrop of like a blank wall. If you post your huge collection saying, hey, I got this collection, here's my collector app thing worth $70,000, like, you know, and then someone's like, hey, you know what, can I meet up and like just check that out? And you're like, no, just come to my house. You done fucked yourself, because people are going to know where you live. You're going to get doxxed. People can steal your shit then. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I know this is a crazy rant. Like, you guys think I'm just an old man, get off my lawn, but this stuff can be prevented. And do I think insurance fraud happens? Absolutely. It happens all the time. Do I think PokeDean did insurance fraud? I am never going to say that, nor do I have to believe that to think that he got screwed over. Someone got him, and someone was close to him that knew when he was going to be gone. It's so crazy. It's wild, absolutely. Like, I just don't get it. And the only thing is has this stuff happened before? Why are all these big YouTube influencers like PokeDean, PokePlumber, those are two I can think of that have talked about it a lot. Possum Bud, he talked about, you know, I have a bunch of stuff I'll never show on camera, because Possum Bud knew. He's like, no way, like, it's not worth it. This stuff's happened before. We see this stuff happen all the time, probably, if we just scour the internet and look for it. People get screwed over and stolen from all the time in this hobby. It just happened to be this guy's an influencer, and it got videotaped. People could see it then. So, PokeDean, if you somehow, the Poke gods, strike you with thunder to watch this video, here's what I'd ask of you, PokeDean, okay? Maybe the investigators already have it figured out. Maybe you know exactly who it was, okay? Here's the thing, though. Post another video. Post another video on the progress. Ways you wish that you would have done something different. How you would have protected your investment. Was it a security system in your house? Was it not having high dollar items there? Was it having a safe? Post another video, okay? Because I want to see what you think you would do different. Because I know what I do now and what I would do different, of course, if something happened. But I want to know what you're doing, man. Like, I want to know, what are the law enforcement officials doing? Is this a pending case? Is it cut and dry? Do they know what happened? So, you guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. What would you do to protect your investment? I sure as hell know if someone comes to me at gunpoint and says, hey, I'm taking your Pokemon cards, take them. It's not worth a life at all. My wife manages a jewelry store. If someone comes in to rob the place, do you think she's going to sit there and be like, no, I'm going to fight for this jewelry? Hell no. She's going to say, take the stuff. That's what we have insurance for. The same thing with your Pokemon collection. Insure it, have no worries. All right, guys. Pokesoda here. Catch them all, even the dirtbag criminals that steal shit. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching.